Aries, and welcome to 2020. Everyone's saying it's your year, the year of the Emperor. Let's see what we can find out. So, for this series, I am actually going to be drawing one card from the Major Arcana, and that's going to be our main focus. Then I'll draw subsequent cards to get further information and emphasis. Just one for now. Aries 2020. Okay. Judgment. Judgment is really the card about decisions, big decisions. It's when you are in a fork in the road and you have to choose which path to take. Judgment is that interval, that time where you're left with your thoughts. You know, whether it's thoughts of the past, it's memories you've had that keep you sane. It's lessons you've learned thus far on the road. Judgment is the culmination of that time, and it enlightens you to be better equipped for choosing. Judgment is a very weighty card. It's probably one of those that a lot of tarot readers, if I picked it for myself, it would be like, ooh, okay, now is the time. And for you guys, you are always in the seat of making decisions. I feel like Aries, since you're the first sign, you always have that initiative, that go-getter attitude, where you're constantly choosing, you're making decisions, and you're following through based on impulse and instinct. Judgment is like that, but it's on a bigger scale. So this is something that could really change the course of the direction of your life. I mean, it's the 20th card of the Major Arcana. There's only a few more after that, so it may be judgment in the world, to be honest. But so it's a very big card. It's like at the end of your journey, and you are either going to course correct and choose to reinstate what you set out to do, maybe even 20 years ago, for those of you that, that works out age-wise. Going into the new decade, numbers are of bigger importance. Maybe it could be 2 years ago. 2 plus 0 is 2. So what is it that you set out to do? And are you sticking to it, or are you going to completely change course and go in a different direction? Oh, okay. Very common Sun card. Your bright disposition, your naivety is going to come into play in a big way in 2020. So maybe you're going to be able to access that playful Aryan nature again. So it looks like there's something already that looks like it's from a higher perspective. You see those enlarged figures from above, the angel calling out, like it's like the horn that wakes you up in the morning. And just like the sun that also wakes you up in the morning, there's a big wake up call that you guys are ready for. You know, I feel like if this was the Chinese zodiac, it would be the year of the rooster. But it is the year of the rat, which I associate typically with Aries being the first of the zodiac. And also, mice are very playful. You think of Tom and Jerry, like animated, or, they're always around. They're just kind of following the lead. And uh, they're going in after the humans are there to find out what's left. They're kind of scavengers, but they're very, you know, whimsical. Like there's a lot of whimsy associated to rats and mice in at least film and animation, and that's kind of what you guys are. You're this playful, small symbol of the zodiac and children in general. Um, but yeah, a wake up call. This is something that really is going to enliven you guys again. 2020 is going to be the energy that you need to get back in touch with yourself. Maybe you need to make this really big decision to start living again, to start being a kid again. There's always time and there's always room to be more positive and more inspiring and more playful. You guys have been on a journey of love almost. Like this is a person that um, symbolizes love or romance or passion, but can also be very manipulative, can be very coercive, can kind of like ensnare you in um, the woes of love, or maybe if you guys have been in a relationship that you really feel diminished by your partner. You feel like they kind of steer you in directions that you don't always want to go. They make things very chaotic for you, and you don't always know what's on their mind or what they're thinking. You don't have that confidence from this person. Um, that's kind of what's showing here. It could just be a male in your life that is seemingly deceptive, but overtly like sexual or primal. Somebody that does have high emotions, high energy, or at least more of a passion or dramatic flair, um, but one that you never really trust. Somebody that um, almost like holds the reins of the emotions in the relationship. And then that kind of steers the direction for the two of you. So let's see here, what else? It could be affecting that playful sensibility that you have and almost blocking it. Strength. Ooh. Strength reversed. I mean, literally, what is strength reversed? Literally, what, would that be is weakness. There's a weakness for someone most likely in your past that you've been in romance with or in a relationship with. It's an intimate relationship that you had. I don't think it's something platonic, and it's something that has consistently weakened you again and again, and it keeps coming up again and again, and it will in 2020. Water and earth are usually associated with the past and those things that we hold close, even when they're no longer present in our lives. But fire and air moves forward. It's going somewhere. It's pushing boundaries and it's exploring as opposed to perfecting and refining, like the earth and water signs are. So here there's almost this tug of war where you're wanting to be bold and bright, but you just don't feel like you have the fortitude to weather this person almost, and access that inner drive and that inner passion that's going to carry you forward when it comes to this really big decision that you guys have. So, the sun hopefully can lessen matters, can make things a little more jovial, and lessen the pressure or the degree of the situation that you're in. I don't feel like this is a bad thing. Like I don't feel like 2020 is going into really uh, a dark direction. I just feel like whenever I see the King of Cups, I don't have a positive relation to that card. It always like drives up like a more possessive lover, somebody that can kind of um, keep you at their whim, like the whim of their emotions. And then lastly, we have Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords is really inspiring you to go above, The Queen of Swords, however, is a very sharp personality and she does not mince words. Sometimes with you guys, Aries, like I can find that you just come across as very blunt and you don't necessarily mean it. It's just kind of like a child, like telling them not what to do or to be like appropriate, is often like the worst thing you can do and it's going to just drive them to do that thing that you don't want them to do. I feel like that's Queen of Swords energy. It's like you just can't put restraints or constraints on her. She's going to tell it like it is. She's going to give you that hard lesson, even if it's hard to hear. I mean, there's this balance there with the butterflies and the sword. It's almost like this Libra energy to me, um, and the kid on the podium. So there's this childlike, this youthfulness to the Queen of Swords. Yes, she has a lot of insights and she can kind of part the clouds and see the hidden meanings or the see beyond or what's coming, more so the future. The bird symbolizing it as well, taking flight. So this is somebody that isn't always around, but when they are around, they really help you, most likely a female. So we have a really possessive male figure that is likely a romantic partner, most likely one from your past, one that kind of like always tugs at you going forward and is coming back in a big way in 2020. Somebody that kind of more so puts restrictions and um, you're at the whim of their emotions. You feel like it's kind of a roller coaster to some degree with that person. And then there's a Queen of Swords that's a lot more calm and collected, that maybe even gives you counsel, and that helps you like go forward. So as a female figure, or just somebody that seems very feminine and maternal, like they take care of you. Those are the two people I think that are coming up the most in here. We've got some Leo energy with the Strength card. But yeah, in between. So maybe it's one person that can seem chaotic and possessive, but at the same time is really inspiring and nurturing to you. Maybe that's the duality because in between both of those court cards, I see the Leo card. And so that person is really big for you in 2020 if that's the case. If not, it seems like most often the King of Cups here is the one that is going to be giving you pitfalls or demands or is going to make it harder for you to go the Queen of Swords route. Yeah. But the Queen of Swords is positive when it comes to looking at the judgment. I think the air signs are probably, at least the court cards for the air signs are the best to indicate like sound judgment, fair judgment, ethical judgment, that's very impartial. It's more objective than it is subjective. So, if that's the case for you, if you have to make a decision that isn't just impacting you personally, but everyone around you, Queen of Swords is like a good indicator that there's going to be some sound judgment happening. Um, as long as this person doesn't really get in your way so much, isn't like whispering in your ear. That's kind of how I feel from the King of Cups. I don't know why, but I just feel like the King of Cups is very deceptive. Um, yeah, could seem like they're taking care of you, but could really just be prodding you in like directions based on their own selfish needs. Um, Sorry. So, Aries, your year of judgment awaits. 2020, starting off the new decade with, a really big thing. Do you have the strength to take this person along with you? Is this person hindering you from being um, your true self, your playful, jovial, inspiring, uh, demanding self? We all love you. And is that person holding you back from going forward? I feel like this is more so about the people that you have around you than opposed to yourself. I feel like you're coming to terms with who you are. There's a decision you have to make, and it's just choosing. So, Aries, the first sign, um, I am going to draw, let's see, four more cards. And if you'd like to know what they are, you can follow the link in the description below um, and unlock the extended video for only $5. And you get to watch it as many times as you'd like throughout the year. So you can check into your quick 2020 reading and see how it's transforming you, what's coming up, and just kind of use it as your own personal check-in. So the $5 will get you the link to the video of which you can watch it again and again throughout the year. So I'm going to draw four cards here. Four for the Emperor, four for Judgment 2020. So that's a really important card that we have there. The number 20. We're entering the year 2020. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Yeah, so if you'd like to see that, and if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me to book a reading. I can do a whole month by month analysis of your year ahead. And yeah, if you haven't already followed Stars on Stars on Instagram, please do if you love film and astrology. It's a great place to see the two line up, and we explore films and the birth charts attached to the actors in them and see the lessons. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, here comes your extended. So click below and find out what those four cards are. I'll see you there.